Hey, this is Miss Key, and this is my review of Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 5, Truth or Dare. There was a lot in this episode, so let's get started. So, we come back from the last episode, they left us on a cliffhanger. So, we have Precious and AP up for elimination, and when they move forward, I'm just like, yeah, let's get rid of AP. I just don't see her having a connection with anybody. And so really that's what they do. I don't know why Demetrius was trying. He was really doing a little too much when he eliminated her. He was like, we feel like you have some unresolved feelings for your husband. I just really didn't think that was a good way to put it. That she has some unresolved feelings. I just think she still has work to do. I wouldn't have put it that way, but he might have been nervous. And AP was like, so he a psychologist now? Um, she says that she's ready to love, and that might be true, but I just don't think that there was a person there that she was interested in. So I think they made the right decision on that one. Um, the feedback that they gave Precious is, they want her to show that she's not, just into the nightlife or whatever. And I don't know about the nightlife. I just thought what they showed last episode, she was just doing team too much with the sexy talk or whatnot. But I guess we'll see if she has, more to offer than to, just be talking in that way and, see what kind of substance she has. So anyway, AP says that she's, devastated that she's going home. And I was just thinking, like, why? Why are you devastated that you're going home? You didn't have a connection with anybody on the show. So, I guess we'll see her at the reunion. So Tommy says that there'll be no more blind dates. The people that are there, this is going to be it. And so he tells them that they need to, take their moment now and have more purposeful conversations. And I really like that they have less people at a time. I think it really gives people the opportunity to get to know each other better. So I've really enjoyed this season so far. So Tommy leaves and everybody gets started eating. And the food that the chef, I called him the chef last week, but I found out this week or was reminded this week that his name is Eric, but I'm gonna still call him the chef too. The food that he made, it looked real good. It looked really, really, really good. So they show that Clifton got Carmen a plate. That was real nice of him. I'm just not a fan of Carmen. I think when she made that comment about the women's hair being fake, meanwhile she had the fake contacts, I was just like, pot calling the kettle. That like really rubbed me the wrong way. She might be a nice girl. We'll just have to see. But so far, I'm not really feeling Carmen. But, he got her a plate and she was like, oh, yeah, that would be fab. I was just like, huh, whatever. But Chef did his thing on the food because it looked real good. And Eric, the chef, he said that he's glad that he had the opportunity to show his passion, and cook for his friends and possibly his future wife. Um, the young lady I've been calling Tania, her name is really Dania. Or is it Dakia? Lord, I totally forgot. Ooh, because I have a lot. It's Dakia. So I had her name all wrong. So Dakia said, well, she let him know that her one of her favorites is shrimp pasta. And that's one of the things that he made. So anyway, um, so then Laverne decides to, initiate this game of truth or dare. And I'm like, oh boy. So he asked truth or dare, and Tina says she'll take the dare. And he said, go ahead and touch the chest of the person that you feel the strongest connection with. And so she goes over to P.O. and touch his chest. P.O., aka Paul. They pan over to Wiley and he looks bothered. Wiley is the 32-year-old on the show. And him and Tina had a date last week, and I thought that it went really well. I thought that her connection with Wiley would have, I thought she would have went over to Wiley, but I guess not. And somebody said something about, his age, and they've been getting on him about his age all season. I mean, you would think he was 21 and everybody else was 45 or something like that. I mean, he's 32 years old. I mean, that's not as young as they're making it seem. And Wiley says, maturity doesn't always come with age. And I 1,000% agree. Some people walking around here, they got the age, but you would swear they was still in elementary school, the way that they think. But anywho, so next, Donovan puts out a truth or dare, and Joy says, dare. And Donovan says, kiss the man that you have the best connection with. So she runs over and she kisses Clifton. And they pan over to Carmen, the lady that he got the plate for, and she looks bothered. And I just thought that was funny. Um, then Tania puts out a truth or dare, and Carmen says truth. And I'm sorry, her name is not Tania. Her name is Dakia. So Dakia puts out the truth or dare, and Carmen says truth. And Dakia says, is there someone that you're truly interested in here, or is it just because this is the selection? And then everybody goes, ooh. And I was just like, oh boy, it's a little high schoolish. But Carmen says that she really does have some connections there. And it's not just because that's the only selection that's there. So next up, Eric, aka the chef, he puts out the truth or dare, and Sabrina says dare. So he says, why don't you go ahead and nibble on the ear of the person that you're feeling the most? So then she, does this kind of drawn out thing, like she's really thinking, and she's, walking around one way and then walking around another way. Everybody's expecting her to go nibble on Tori's ear, but she goes ahead and nibbles on Demetrius' ear. And Tori, his face was all the way tore up. All the way tore up. He was looking straight bothered. He said he was shocked. And so that actually caused a rift between him and her for the rest of the episode, but I'll get to that. So then next is Ace, and Demetrius takes the dare from Ace. And Ace says, walk up to that one and kiss her wherever you want. So Demetrius kisses Sabrina on the lips, and I mean that's just double. First she nibbling on Sabrina, nibbling on Demetrius' ear, then Demetrius go over there and kiss her on the lips. I just think that was too much for poor Torrey to take. He was just over there looking all the way mad. And then eventually they show him get up and go. Now, this is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if this is editing. Did he really get up and go in that moment? But, he may have. But, so next scene, we see Precious, Joy, Wiley, Clifton, and Demetrius go on a group date. And Precious and Joy sets this date up. And they are at an adult jungle gym pretty much. And Precious says this is her opportunity to get to know some of these guys because none of the guys there are connections that she's had. And so they show them they're doing like this climbing type thing. Kind of reminds me of Ninja Warrior. And Wiley, he's over there struggling with his tight jeans, but it looks like they're all having a lot of fun. Precious is talking to Demetrius, and seems like she's pretty much pleading her case that she's not a party girl and she has more to offer, and she'll give her partner undivided attention. And it just really seems like she was, I don't know, a little desperate in that moment. I thought she was doing too much. And Demetrius, he just didn't look interested in all at all. He was saying he didn't know whether she was, being sincere, whether it was just because she was up for elimination that, she was talking to him and bringing up those points. I'm like, well, they gave her feedback, so she was just trying to, pretty much let them know who she was, but it was too much in that moment. I just don't think Demetrius is interested in Precious, so she should just stop trying to prove her point to him in particular. So then they show Joy talking with Wiley, and she's pretty much saying, show who you're feeling. You're really kind of in the cut and everything like that. Like what's been stopping you so far? And he was like, well, I think it's time to play ball. And she was like, what's been stopping you up until now? And so he's saying he needs to create the right opportunities instead of waiting for it. But then he doesn't do anything after that, and Joy is like tapping her watch or pretend watch, like, okay, so when you go make your move? And he didn't really make a move. So she said she thinks that he flirts, but he's not creating an opportunity to have a moment and get to know her. So it seems like it's kind of going over his head. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for. You know, a lot of the cast members, they talk about how this experience is like speed dating times 20. So he really doesn't have a lot of time to be waiting, you know, for these opportunities, you know, before someone is eliminated. So anyway, they show Sabrina and Torrey on a date. Sabrina wants to meet with Torrey and clear the air, you know, after the whole Truth or Dare situation. And Torrey, you know, he says he's just trying to figure out his place with Sabrina. He said he didn't know that she was feeling Demetrius all like that. Um, and Sabrina tells him, you know, I wouldn't be giving you that type of update, you know. But he said he wants clear communication and he just wants her to be honest with him. And then he states in his confessional, he's not really trying to be, he ain't trying to be second to anybody. You know, I think he was liking her a lot. And I think that she likes him. I just think that he didn't realize that, you know, she was into someone else like that. But at the same time, it is a dating show and he should be, you know, exploring other people as well. I don't know why he wasn't exploring anybody else, or it didn't seem like he was. Sabrina tells him that she feels like his attitude is more like it's an all or nothing type of thing, and she wants to continue to explore other connections. And again, Tori wants just clear communication. He does ask her how does she feel about, you know, who's her number one, and she says, you know, she's really torn and she's not ready to say really who's her number one at this point. So, you know, when they were having this conversation, I was just thinking, you know, Tori, why don't you explore some other options? You know, it kind of seems like maybe he put all his eggs in one basket and he kind of had egg on his face when he realized all her eggs went in his basket. So, anyway, in the next scene, Carmen and Paul are on a date. Um, and Carmen's dress looked really pretty. It really did. And when she came in, Paul really liked what he saw. And she said that he looked nice too. Um, and then they also show in another scene Donovan and Tina on a date. Now, Donovan is 42, Tina is 31. Last episode, Tina said, hey, I like older men. So, you know, there's that. Tina has a 2-year-old, and Donovan asks how, you know, Tina has been, how's her baby been, and she talks about her baby, and they talk about having kids. Donovan does have at least one child. I don't know if he only has one child, but he said he likes kids. And when Tina asked, he said he would be open to having more kids if it was with the right person. So, um, she said she wanted to try his, she's never had duck, and she wanted to try his duck, and then he decided to feed her. So then we go back over to Paul and Carmen's date, and Paul says that he would love to give her his pickle if she wants it. And I was just thinking, just when I was starting to kind of like Paul, then he goes and, you know, says something, off the wall. But Carmen played along and she was like, sure. And she says she likes to be fed. So he fed her a pickle. And I was just like, ugh. You know, I'm not really into either one of them, but I think that they actually had a good date. And I think that they might be cute together, maybe, you know. Um, and then they start having a conversation, and um, Carmen says that she wants a man that knows what she wants, and she doesn't have to tell him, and that he can like plan a date, and make her feel special. And I was thinking, so she wants a mind reader. I think somebody can definitely plan something nice, but I don't think anybody will know what you want. They could, you know, plan something nice, but they don't necessarily know what you want. I guess that will come with time as far as, them knowing your likes and your dislikes, but, whatever. Then they switch back over to Donovan and Tina, and she asks him what does he want, in his next relationship. And he says he wants someone that's beautiful on the inside and out. He wants someone to build and grow together. He wants someone who has the same type of goals and dreams as he does. And then he says he feels like he wants it all. He feels like he can have it. When asked, Tina says she likes someone who's goofy, who knows how to have a good time, who has integrity, who's ambitious, and who's kind and compassionate. They both talk about how they, do vision boards, and Donovan says he believes in manifestation. So they talk about maybe doing that together, if they're together, on New Year's or whatever. So they're switching back and forth between these two dates. So now they're back with Carmen and P.O. And she asks him, what's his deal breakers? And he says, somebody with low energy, no drive, no pursuit of happiness, and who's content with just being where they are. And Carmen says that she can relate to that because her ex husband was kind of just content with where they were and she wanted more out of life. She feels like you're continually growing, learning, and she wants to continue doing that and experiencing new things. And, I can get with that. I can understand that. You definitely want to be on the same page as, the person that you're with. You don't want to be having a high drive and high ambition, and then the other person is just kind of blah, So you definitely want to be on the same wavelength. Um, and P.O. asked Carmen why has she been, single for 4 years, and she said in her field. And I don't know what her field is. I know she said she used to be in the military when she was on a date with Laverne. Um, but I don't know what she does now. Um, she said in her field that people thinks that she's already in a relationship. And P.O. asked her if she feels like she's approachable. And she says she feels like she is approachable. Um, so they're just kind of sitting there vibing, and P.O. makes a comment that, Carmen gives him this stare to make him want to give up his wallet and the car keys and the deed to the house. And I said, that's a mean stare. It make him want to give up all that. I might need to practice that in the mirror. If her stare giving up have him want to give up the deed and the car keys and the checks, I might need to practice that. So anyway, um, I made a note that even though I'm not really feeling them as individuals, I thought they had a really nice date and they could be good together. So I'd be interested to see, how that goes, as time goes on. So then we go to the next scene and we see Ace, Tina, Dakia, Tori, Laverne, and P.O. They go on a group date. And we see P.O. talking to Tina at one point, and they talking about how they feel each other, they look good, and they have this chemistry between them. Um, Tori at one point, I don't even know who he was talking to, but he was flexing his pecs for somebody. I was like, oh, I ain't even know Tori had pecs. All right, Tori. And Ace and Laverne, they were sitting, talking, chilling, and Laverne had his hand on Ace's leg. I was like, okay, this is the first time I've seen them interact. I know last time he said she was all that. I'm like, okay. So I can tell that they've had some interaction that I hadn't seen before. Dakia and Tori, they're talking, and um, she was asking him how he felt about, after the whole truth or dare situation with Sabrina. And he tells her that he's thinking about falling back. So, he said things with Sabrina are kind of shaky right now. Um, and then they show Tina and P.O. again, and Tina lets P.O. know that she likes an aggressive man who knows what he wants. And, P.O. he's like, oh, well, I'm all about that, So P.O. really feeling himself. He done got his confidence built, with these connections that he got going on, since they not telling him they remind him of a mentor and all that. He feeling himself this week. So anyway, everybody's dancing, and Everything, they having a good time. Tina tries to talk with Laverne, but it really doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it has Tina saying that she really not even feeling Laverne. So that was that. So then we go to the ladies' lounge, and um, they tell Tommy about the whole truth or dare situation. Um, Tommy asks them who are they feeling. Tina says she's feeling Paul and Donovan. Carmen says she's feeling Eric the chef and Paul. Dakia says she's feeling Eric the chef. Ace is feeling Laverne and Torrey. Precious likes Paul and Donovan, and I was just like, girl, you don't got no connections. You do not have any connections right now, but okay. Sabrina says she likes Demetrius and Tori, of course. Ace, oh, and then he says, who are you not feeling? Ace is not feeling Clifton. She says he's the homie. Carmen says she not feeling Clifton. Now, at the beginning of the episode, she was feeling him. He was bringing her a plate and all this, but now she's not feeling him. I think it was because Joy gave Clifton a kiss, and she was just over there looking crazy. Um, Tina, she's not feeling Wiley. And I was a little surprised because I thought that the first date that they had together, I thought that it went really well, but I guess not. Precious says she's not feeling Wiley. She feel like he the homie. Joy not feeling Wiley. She said he's slow to let people know if he feeling them. Precious not feeling Laverne. She says when he's nice is good. When he has a negative streak, not so much. Tina says she's not feeling Laverne. There's nothing there. So Tommy tells the ladies, meet with the guys, give them some honest feedback, and then they move over to the next scene, and they show Wiley and Dakia. I thought her name was Tania. So they show Wiley and Dakia, and they show Laverne and Precious. So Wiley and Dakia. Um, Dakia lets Wiley know that he needs to be clear, if he's interested in somebody. If he doesn't do that, she feels like the ladies feel like it turns into a friendship thing. And the women don't know if he's interested or if he's not interested. She said his analysis turns into paralysis. I thought that was a good way to put it. Um, so basically, he's not ready to love, and she ends up telling him that. I'm not sure that he's not ready to love. I just think that, it wasn't anybody there. Even though I just don't think that Tina gave him a chance. I really thought that they had a good date. I wonder what happened. Maybe it's just that she likes older guys. So Precious gives Laverne feedback, and, you know, um she said that he kind of started something with the truth or dare game, and he said he didn't have any stake in that. Um she lets him know that he kind of steps up, then slides back when he wants. He seems guarded sometimes and sometimes narcissistic. I think he slides back a lot. Like I said before, I feel like he just waits for the ladies to come to him. And then Laverne says, I don't trust y'all. So I'm not gonna give you all of Laverne. I ain't gonna give you all Laverne. I said, if you don't get you another nickname, just throw the whole name away. Nothing wrong with the name Laverne, but it just throws me off that that's his name. But anyway, but Precious lets him know he's still ready to love, and she was like, "You gotta you gotta win me back." And I'm like, "Girl, he not aiming for you. He ain't trying to win you back." Anywho, but I kind of felt bad for Wiley. I just thought everybody treated him like a baby, like he was 21 years old. But at any rate, it wasn't anybody there for him. If it was anybody, I would have thought it would have been Tina. But I don't know what happened with that connection. But I thought this was a good episode. It was lots and lots and lots and lots to talk about in this episode. But I really enjoyed it. So that was my review of Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 5. This is Miss Key, and I'll see you next time.